survivor. I'm a survivor, survivor. Who will be the ultimate survivor? Let's find out when you spend a day in our shoes. All you creators, our sanctuary is waiting. Who will win the title? Well, it could be you. Survivor, survivor. I'm a survivor.
Somebody said, Lester's just punking us.
I saw that.
There's not a real live tonight. Well, yes, there is a real live tonight because here we are. Surprise.
It's very weird for me to be over here. I feel like I know I'm on the wrong side. We have to switch. I can't do it. I can't handle it. And I don't know why the camera's mirrored like that. But here we are. Oh, it's so much better.
Anywho's, happy Friday. Hoping you're all having a wonderful Friday, and TGIF, you're off to a great weekend. I think that the most exciting thing that I can announce is that I am home tonight, but the JL Ranch is not being unmanned. As a matter of fact, there's a special surprise happening over at the JL Ranch this weekend, and Jamie will be telling you all about it. She can reveal as much as she wants right now.
Why do you put the pressure on me for that? You didn't even we didn't even talk. We didn't pregame about this at all. This was not part of what tonight was going to hold.
That is the beauty of going live, just random, because you don't always pregame. You just go. You don't want to say anything about anything?
No, it's a super duper extra secret. We're actually, it's a super secret. And I wasn't prepared to talk about this, but I will do some of that.
What we're doing is our hand cream.
Yeah. So there are things happening at the JL North, and I will video more of that tomorrow, but I'm not prepared to tell y'all just yet. I'll just say that.
Well, Typo Queen is still laughing about a video that I made earlier today. And in that video, I referenced something that happens on the streets of LA. Now, I've never been to, I have been to LA, but I've never been to those streets. But we probably should not even talk about that.
What the heck? Like, where's this? Like, this is.
Well, here's the thing. Thank you for finding humor in that, Typo Queen. But let's not open up this live to all kinds of
while you're doing that
discussion. Go ahead and hide that one. But thank you, Typo
I have
Queen.
To do something.
Jamie's going to do something. So I know what she's going to do. She's going to unmirror us. What happened was we had been mirrored.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
Now we're back to normal.
Back in business.
That means
we're in the right place here.
We're in the right place, but you're probably reading us backwards, right? Or
it says mirror, so it's just like looking in a mirror instead of it being backwards.
So they're actually reading my shirt the correct way.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I salute, they're actually seeing my right hand, not my left. If I pledge, they're seeing my right hand over my heart, not my left.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
We don't know what y'all are seeing on your end.
Yes. They said yes.
I had fun with my videos today. I think that both videos that I made today were both funny. And they
I laughed. What?
I just don't know if you laugh at the I don't know if everyone gets my humor.
So you're saying you don't know if I laughed at you or with you?
Yeah, I don't know if you
laughed with you.
I don't know if you were laughing at me or with me.
I laughed with you. Specifically, okay, it might have been a little bit at you.
Put your back into it. Put your back into it.
When you tied the rope, first of all, I was like, oh, it's no wonder I never have any ropes, right? Like I have to buy a lead rope every week at Tractor Supply. But when you tied it to your belt loop, all I could think about is he knows that those don't stay up, right?
My pants.
Yes. So the fact that it was connected to something that I was sure was going to be removed, because I was waiting for the blooper moment of like the whole thing falls over and whoop, there it goes.
Listen,
like really waiting.
It's true. I need to be. I used to have 20 belts. and I can't find hardly any of them. So, and I'm not going to resort to using hay string every day. I will use hay string sometimes, but I'm not using hay string every time. Today, I did not think I needed a belt. I realized a little bit later that probably I should have had one. But no, I thought that what you would all see me do was something that was going to make you ooh and awe in wonderment. I like to ooh and awe people in a good way.
We oohed and awed. I was there for the premiere. I don't know if you know that or not, but I was there, and I was in the comments, and I was very active, and I definitely saw the belt loop scenario. And then I actually was like, why is he standing those two up? Why wouldn't he just lay those down to put the first two together? That's what I have to do, because
Well, hold on.
it's hard.
So you know that each one, if it weighs 90 to 100 pounds each, and so you were going to suggest that I lift both at the same time. So instead of me having to squat 100 pounds, me going to squat 200 pounds. Is that what you were going to suggest?
Well, you can do it. Put your back into it.
You know what? I found an easier way to do it. I have discovered there's an easier way to work smarter, not harder.
People are telling my secrets to Lester. We don't share secrets here like that. We're gonna cut your breaking girl code. I'm just saying.
Oh, what secret is this about the terrifying moment that I had when I got into my truck and looked over and saw someone staring at me from your chicken coop? That secret?
No. People shared my secret that I shared with them, and they're trying to tell on me right now to you.
Oh yeah, don't do that, y'all. We got to have codes. There has to be code. You have to have a code.
But tell them about the situation.
No, so Jamie did. She took my sweet Gina Lynn, and realizing that our dogs were scared to go to the JL motel, and I hated that. If you don't know that story, we have a couple of mannequins that were gifted to us, and with Eugene, no one had a problem. None of the dogs had an issue with Eugene over at the JL motel, which is the RV over at the other property. And you guys know that because we have animals over there, some animals don't always stay inside their yards. And we also have neighbors' animals that don't always stay inside their yards. We just don't feel safe leaving the property completely unattended. So I go over a lot at night and just camp out or glamp out, whatever you guys call it. And it's fine. I don't mind. Jamie and I spend plenty of time together in the mornings with coffee, and then at lunch for when we eat lunch. And then, of course, the weekends when we do stuff. Don't worry, for those who always are concerned. There are so many concerned. There are so many concerned about what time you make whoopee. I don't know why that is even on people's minds. So not everybody makes whoopee at night.
I hope my grandma's in bed already.
Well, this is Friday night. I'm sure your grandma's in bed.
I
Not
hope so.
everybody makes whoopee, and I'm saying with TV terms. So if you use TV terms, you know it has to be safe, because nothing bad's on TV. TV censors would have marked that out long ago. But no, so yeah, that was when we talked about this the first time. I could not believe how many people were concerned about the whoopee schedule.
Do we have to talk? Do we have to go down this path?
No, I'm just saying that I'm here every morning for coffee. Have you ever heard of coffee, tea, or me? Have y'all never heard of that? I'm also here every afternoon. Have you ever heard of an afternoon delight? What? So
I had no idea that this is where this live was going.
It's a whole lot big. This is just the beginning of my story. This is the beginning of my story. I also am a bath taker. So you guys know that I love to take a bath. So once my chores are done here, I will normally have myself a bath earlier than normal, granted, and then I will normally head back over to the JL for the nighttime routine. I usually go live over there as well.
I'm totally like hijacking your live time tonight, and we have good reason. We have good reason. So let's make that announcement if that's okay.
So you're going to cut my story
Oh,
off.
I'm so sorry. You're telling a story.
Mid-story.
You go with your story. I'll save all of my
mid-story. You're going to cut me off.
housekeeping for later.
So what I like to do is take the girls with me. The girls love to go camping with Daddy. They love that. And every afternoon, 6:30 or so, I go head towards the truck and I say, let's go BYE, BYE. And
Can't say that out loud here.
I can't say it out loud. And it's really cute to see who wants to go and who doesn't. I don't really understand why, but Trixie is always right there. She's first one to go. Usually Christmas is right there. Stella sometimes thinks about it. Stella looks at me, and since she can't hear a darn thing, I say, and she thinks about it. She translates what I'm probably saying. Then she looks at the other dogs to see if they're excited, and then she'll jump up and sometimes come. Ritzy is only kind of like 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes she will.
Depends on the day.
No, it depends on if there's food out or not.
That is true. If she's eating already here, she's willing to go because she's going to eat again.
Yeah, if she's not eaten here yet, then she'll go. But if she already had dinner here, she'll like, yeah, I'll go because Dad always feeds us again over there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny how it works out. But what I noticed was after we got the mannequins all set up, which were really cute, and they were wonderful gifts, thank you. And we had moved Eugene out once he had become possessed and was sent over to Jake's place to hang out with Jake. What we noticed was the dogs were scared. So only 2 dogs were going with me every night. Christmas wouldn't hardly go. Ritzy would not go, would not come inside that RV for anything. And then whenever they did go, or I made them go, they would all come into my bedroom and sleep all around my bed. Christmas even in the bed. So I knew that there was something going on. They were scared of the mannequins. So Jamie had a brilliant idea of what she could do to utilize the mannequins in a productive way. And she made one of them into a scarecrow. Sweet Gina Lynn is now a scarecrow out in the chicken coop. However, me not realizing she had done that, when I pull up in the truck and I get out, I look over, just glance over, and I see someone staring at me. Someone is staring right at me. And it spooked me because I knew it wasn't Jamie, and I did not know who was in the chicken coop staring at me. And so it ended up being Gina Lynn.
So full disclosure, I scared myself twice as well.
Yes.
Once when I was putting her together out in the shop, I came in to ask Lester something. And when we went back out, I just left her. And I came around the corner, and out of the corner, I was like that thing.
No, every single time I would walk into the RV, I would also get spooked that way. Every time.
I believe that.
And it's just the mannequins. Next day, just the mannequins. So I guess the dogs felt the same way. So like, let's just go to Dad's room. We're just gonna go get in Dad's bed. We're just gonna go not even look. If we don't see them, they don't see us.
Speaking of which, I left the chicken coop open for you to go out and close because she's staring at him.
So you're scared of her now. I will, and I said this last night, but I will let you all know that Eugene is back home. Not put together yet, but supposedly it freaked Jake out enough to where we found him in pieces all across Jake's yard. So we do have Eugene. He's back home.
Or Eugene was just so broken up.
And then someone gifted me a nose for Eugene. So we will be putting a nose on him sometime soon. And I'm going to have to reintroduce him to Regina. And I think that might be quite the homecoming. I bet you she's going to have a real dilemma on her hands, having to pick between Eugene, her once love, and George, her newfound love. This would make for a wonderful Scandalous Saturday edition. Maybe after your live is over,
you're gonna dive into one.
I'll have into my own scandal.
I got some bad news for you.
What?
Well, first of all, George and I went round and round last night on the floor in the shop, and yeah, that happened. Second of all, Regina might have taken a little spill after the rain, and even though I put her back together, she looks a little put away wet. I'll just say that.
You didn't use any of Boy George's parts on
No,
her, though, right?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
I
absolutely
as
did
long
not.
as Eugene and Boy George have all of their parts, I guess that's the important thing. And remember, even though we may be missing a couple of screws here and there, guys, we have screw guns and duct tape. I promise we can put anything back together again. Okay, anything. So
I'm going to challenge you to that because I have another part of this video because all I showed was the Regina portion because the George portion really tested me in ways. And well, he's still in shambles outside. So I challenge you to go ahead and put him together and make him have clothing on. Yeah. I challenge you.
You know what I just now thought about?
Oh my God, yes.
A hilarious Longhorn game.
Oh, yes.
You guys,
1,000,000% yes.
You guys know that we have something called the Longhorn games on Sundays when the boys come over.
Yes.
I could take all three mannequins apart, and one of the challenges is to not only dress, but put together and dress a mannequin and make these boys of mine. Oh my God, Jamie.
I was sweating. Oh no. I was sweating profusely doing it.
That would
and
be
I got
so funny.
So aggravated because I would get it all together and then I would just barely look at it and it would all crumble again.
Oh, I know. It's so hard.
Yes, that is the greatest Longhorn challenge.
Oh my gosh, that will be so fun.
That is the greatest.
Lex and Ellie will be here this Sunday, so we will in fact do a Longhorn game edition. And we'll include that. We will absolutely include that as one of our games. That will be so much fun. But listen, the reason that Jamie and I are both live tonight and the fact that we brought you live on all three of our YouTube channels is, drum roll,
we have a super secret project tomorrow that is going to take us away from here before sunrise. And we will not be going live for our normal Saturday morning coffee because of it. Yeah,
so I don't know why she whispered that because there's no one here who's a part of the secret. You felt like
I was whispering it? I'm so sorry.
I did think
you can turn your light off if you want to. There you go.
I'm just going to put it up here where it can shine on your pretty face, and I don't need it. I can just have it look like I have black eyes again. Everyone can say I got black eyes.
It looks like you have transition glasses.
I know. So no, we have a very large project that's underway, and so our presence is required. But what that means is we will not be able to be here in the morning for the normal Saturday morning Lester and Jamie coffee clinks, all of that fun stuff. But it's a good project. It needs to be done. It's been a work in the making. It's been a project in the making. Yeah. But oh no. So what are we supposed to do? Someone asked. I don't know what to tell you. But we have to get this done while we have family available to do it. So just please excuse us. I promise you though, Jamie will still go live tomorrow with her Scandalous Saturday, and then I will go live whenever she's done, which will be late, only for the late nighters.
I was gonna say that's gonna be late because I don't go live with Scandalous Saturday till 8 p.m.
You guys are being so kind. Well, there goes my morning, and there goes no. Thank you so very much. Peggy says, "Can we ride along?" Absolutely. I don't know though. I do not think there's internet over there.
That's the problem. Is the signal is not good.
Yeah, I can tell you this over here. I do not think that we're going to be able to get much of a signal. So signal's not going to be good. So sorry about that. Listen,
now, tonight, the only thing I could do is it would be early. If we happen to be able to have a few minutes to capture in the morning.
Hey, listen, I go live every morning at 7:15. So
we're leaving at 7.
Well, we don't have to leave until 7:30.
Oh.
So if we want to just jump on here at 7 and say good morning, coffee clinks, that's well before.
It just won't be our normal 9:30 time.
It will not be our normal 9:30 time. But you know what? We can do that. We'll set our alarms for 6:30. And then I'll have the coffee all ready to go. And then at 7 o'clock, we jump on here. We coffee clink, break it down to everybody. And then we're off.
Okay.
How about we do it that way,
Okay.
friends?
So an early live tomorrow morning, a very short live. We will have to do some chores in the morning. So 6:30 is definitely, do not sleep past 6:30.
I will say this for everyone who is suggesting that there's some kind of fencing project. Guys, it has been storming
Oh
over
my
here
God.
for 2 days. 2 days of rain.
We got
And
massive, massive rain.
I promise you, I give you my word, there is not going to be a fencing project going on for the next week because Jake's Jake's pastures are beautiful, but they're also clay.
Yeah.
It's clay, and that clay holds water. And one thing that you guys know about me is I do not want my pastures rutted up. You know what I mean by that, rutted up. And so even though you could jump on a tractor or a side-by-side and drive across a pasture, Steinmart's goes at 7:15 Eastern. All right. So we'll be in a whole hour later. And if that guy can't do it in an hour, then he's moving too slow. But either way, you can watch Justin if you choose to. No one's asking you to pick and choose. We want you to go to your happy place, guys. Go to your happy place. So by all means, watch your Justin. And heck, I may watch Justin as I'm driving.
You want to know something crazy?
What?
I heard the other day of a gentleman who goes live, and if he is going to miss his normal time, he will still open up the chat for people to go live at that time so that they can connect.
They can talk to each other.
I have no idea how to do that, but I may try that tomorrow.
Oh, well, we have a pressing matter. So there are some things that are important to us, which is you all, but there's also things that we're obligated to do for family, and that's what we're going to be working on tomorrow. But anyway, the thing is, I don't think you're going to be that upset because what we have for tonight is a lot of fun. I planned a 10-question trivia game to test your trivia, to test your knowledge on the goings of the channels and the properties and all of the fun things. And I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start having me a trivia night. It's kind of like bingo night in the old days when y'all used to play bingo. Well, I'm going to challenge you all to, oh my goodness gracious. Guys, let's not talk about other channels while we're having fun with you all tonight. Can we make that kind of like a general rule?
I need to do one thing while you're doing this. I need to tell Facebook that we did this.
Okay.
So I can fulfill. While you talk about the second part of.
So just remember, friends, that you don't go on to someone else's live promoting, pushing, and even talking about places, other places that you would like people to go. That's just not cool. It's not kosher. It's unbecoming. That's very unbecoming. But by all means, we always say, and we always remind our moderators to back this up. Go find your happy place. And if it's not here, then we welcome you to leave. Okay. Thank you, Keisha. Keisha says, I didn't ask y'all to stop saying it. Keisha, I love you. Have you met Keisha?
Not in person.
Well, I haven't met her in person, but did you ever see the live where I introduced? And did you meet Keisha?
Yes.
I don't know if this is me stereotyping, but I don't think that Keisha gets upset with me for doing this. I mean, Keisha, if you do, then I'm sorry, but just know that I don't mean it with any malice in my heart. But Keisha, she says she loves me too. Keisha knows that she strikes me as kind of a feisty one, if you know what I mean. She's feisty. And I think that she calls herself sassy. I think that she says I'm sassy. Not me, her. I'm not sassy. But sometimes I try to act sassy. Can you act sassy? Show me you pretend to look sassy. Like, oh, hell no. Show me how you would pretend to be sassy.
I don't have that.
All right. I will need Keisha one of these days to come on here and show me some sassiness. I want to see her sassy. That sounds horrible, Jamie. It sounds horrible. Keisha says, I'm sassy, but sweet, or something like that.
I'm way more like bless your heart. You know that.
Well, anyway, hey, Keisha, thank you. No, but yeah, no. What I was saying was what I done was to make sure that tonight is memorable. Some of you guys are going to leave here tonight very, very proud of yourselves. Nancy says, you're stereotyping. Nancy, I don't do that. Keisha is sassy, and I am sassy. What's the, see? Anyway, so I created a 10-question trivia, and I would like you all to challenge yourselves. Now, the thing is, you're going to have to try so hard not to cheat, because what's going to happen is you're not going to know an answer, and you're going to feel that that's going to be the devil. The devil's going to get into your heart and make you look over and find the answer and claim it as your own, okay? But it doesn't work that way, because my judge right here, she's going to find the first person who can say it correctly. And then we're going to call out that person's name. Yes, we are. I don't know if I'll be able to catch every single time. I'm going to try so hard. And we're going to see if we can find us a winner of the very first Friday night trivia. Okay? So real simple, friends. You have your fingers on your keyboard, or you have your fingers on your phone already in the chat section. And whenever you read the question and you see the picture prompt, you start typing. When you're ready, you press enter or you press send, and it's going to pop up on here in order. In order, okay? It's going to pop up here in order. What's wrong?
I just want to also say that this is going to be a very long live tonight, okay? You're getting late night with Jamie and Lester, because we also asked Facebook to ask us 100 questions and we would answer them on this live. So if you're here, you might want to get a drink, a snack, a blanket, all the things. Start working out your thumbs, I guess, because Lester is putting pressure on around this, and I get to be the judge and the jury, apparently. And it's going to be a long night. I hope that you have been well rested.
All right. Are you guys ready? Are we ready, Jamie? Okay. Here goes our trivia game.
I feel like I need a drink.
Go grab you a drink then. Are y'all ready? You're supposed to be judging, though.
I'll judge.
I'm going to put my glasses back on because I'm going to need these. Now, remember, I'm going to be watching for the winner. And if you're saying that I'm on my TV, I don't think you can type from your TV. So you might just have to watch tonight. But what you can do is play along in your head, or you can shout out the answer to those in your home who might be listening to you from the other room. You could really annoy your partners by doing this. You could annoy your grandkids or whoever you're with.
This is all for fun. There's no true prize.
Yeah, and like Jamie just now said, to remind you all, guys, this is just for fun. There's no one going to win a paid vacation to Jamaica. So there's nothing to really compete against except bragging rights. Okay. All right. We ready, Jamie?
Ready.
Here we go. Jamie?
What happened?
So that said, who is this Longhorn? Karen Staggs. Karen Staggs, you are the winner, or you are the first person to correctly identify the name of this particular Longhorn. Everybody, let's wait just a second. Go ahead and stop typing. At this point, we have an answer. Karen Staggs was the very first lady. Karen Staggs is back again. She says yay.
Karen has fast fingers.
Karen, I don't know if you're on a phone or on your computer, but your fingers are fast. Now, I have to apologize because most of y'all you were not able to see the question right away. I did not start it at the beginning. But here's how it looked, what you missed. What is this Longhorn's name? And it showed Danny. And so Karen Staggs was the first one, okay? Now, Karen, to be honest, we do spell it a little bit different. We spell her name D-A-N and then the letter I. But I always put a heart over the dot on the I. That's just like my own thing that I do.
He used to do that to my name too, and then it's gone. Now it's the Longhorns. They get the heart.
Okay,
Same.
here we go. Guys, ready for question number 2? All right, so far, Karen Staggs has 1 point. I'm going to hide Miss Karen's name. Karen, congratulations. Let's see how you do on question number 2, everybody. Here it comes. Who is this rescue kitty? Got it. Condo. Someone named Condo. Do you want to do what I'm doing over here?
Nope.
So
I'm watching for what?
This is question number 2. And question number 2, the winner of this is Condo. Condo named Barnadette. While we're doing this, do me a favor and run and grab those wonderful, sweet babies of hers right quick. We're going to show you guys a few bundles of joy. Let me go ahead and minimize this for a second while we show you some bundles of joy. And when I say bundles of joy, I don't mean that really, because these bundles of joy are the kind that will climb right up your pants leg if you're wearing pants. Huh? Babe, to bring the whole basket. They will climb right up your pants leg if you're wearing pants. And if you're not wearing pants, they'll try to climb up your legs. And they are hard on the legs. Look, this is funny. There are people who are putting answers to potentially future questions. That's really funny. Here come some babies.
Oh, they did not wake up. They're in that little hut.
Looky here. Yeah, so we're doing this like I used to do with my students. I'm not going to take away a point for a misspelling. Now, if it were a spelling test, then yes, you would do that. But if you guys don't know this, in education, they have done away with spelling tests. Did you know that?
Yep.
They no longer do spelling tests. Kids don't learn spelling anymore. And I think that that's weird that kids go to school and they don't teach them spelling. So here's 2 of the babies. Do you know both of their names?
Yep, that's Squirrel.
Squirrel has the gray eyes.
Do you know what this one's name is?
I don't know. I've not taken time to learn their names.
I bet you people know. This is not part of the quiz, but I bet people know which cat this is.
This is the way I like to hold Squirrel. Morrow.
Yep, that's Morrow.
I hold all the babies like this here. My fingers are not squeezed together on their neck. They have plenty of room. My fingers are loose. But I feel like if I'm over here, I can hold them, and they like to cuddle up in the palm of my hands. So you gonna return these 2?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and go to question number 3. So it's Barnadette. Barnadette, Barnadettete. So Condo, you got it right. Just it's spelled not quite spelled correct, but that's good enough. Okay, here we go with question number 3. Which university did this horse have some vet care done? I don't need to wait for Jay. Oh, Jamie, whose name is that? Jenny Roof. Everyone, a round of applause for Jenny Roof. A lot of people are getting it right. You guys are amazing. A lot of you guys are getting it right. It's just that Jenny Roof was so darn fast. So congratulations to Miss Jenny Roof. The question was, at which university did this horse get some vet work done? And Jenny Roof got that one correct. So I'm going to forget, but so far we have 3 different people. Nobody has more than 1 yet. Now, guys, remember, here's something that you're going to be a little bit confused about. Do you know what I'm going to say?
That we're on 3 channels?
Yes. So remember that we're coming from an app that we subscribe to. Is called StreamYard. And what StreamYard does is lets us put all of our channels into one location. So the comments that you're seeing, let's just pretend that you're watching From Suits to Boots. The comments that you see are only comments from Suits to Boots. If you're watching Longhorn Lester's, you're only seeing comments from Longhorn Lester's people. If you're watching I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, you're only seeing those comments. But on our end, on our app, we're seeing all the comments. And trust me, they are flying by. So we're seeing comments from Suits to Boots, from I'm a Survivor, and from Longhorn Lester's. But luckily, it still gives us the first comment. They're still in order. So you have to take my word for it. I have no reason to cheat. I have no reason to choose certain names. And no one has seen these questions ahead of time. Where did I hear that from before? Remember during all the debates?
Oh, yeah.
How sometimes some candidates got questions handed to them early and some did not. No one received these questions before.
You better scroll down on the right first.
Okay, are y'all ready for number 4? Oh no, someone has a broken arm and they can't type fast enough.
Sorry.
Someone else says that they're watching from their phone and their TV, and their phone is ahead of their TV. I wonder how that works. And then looky here. Somebody is trying to guess future questions before the question is even asked. Okay, here we go. Number 4, y'all. Number 4. Let me go ahead and go back to this over here. Here we go. Number 4. What expression do we always include with this cookie? I'm watching. There. Okay. So I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to go with Vonda. Even though the other lady got half of it. Did you see that? She did.
Probably accidentally hit send and was typing the rest. That's what I predict.
She probably wanted to press return in the bed under the sheets. But Miss Vonda Rowe was the very first person to get the entire expression. Spend some time to search within yourself, y'all. That was my most recent fortune cookie. Spend some time to search within yourself. No, I take it back.
I have goosebumps from just read. Like, I'm not making that up. Why did that give me the creeps? Just say.
Because you're imagining me spending some time to search within myself. Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know. What's
in the bed and under the sheets, you spend some time to search within yourself. So in all honesty, I don't know if this is going to change your goosebumps or not, but I do believe that I was sent this by somebody in an email who said, Lester, I'm so embarrassed. This was my fortune. And here's the thing is, it was their first time to take all the grandkids to go eat Chinese. And so here they are, a family with kids and grandkids. Now, I don't know the ages. Hold on, let me make us a little bit bigger. I don't know the ages, but picture this, okay? This is her embarrassing moment. She takes the kids and the grandkids to go eat at a Chinese restaurant. When the dinner, when the bill comes and they have all the cookies sitting there, she goes, wait, let's play a fun game. Let's play a fun game that I've seen Lester and Jamie do.
Oh, my God.
And so sitting there with her kids and her grandkids, they all open their cookies and they have to all read their fortune out loud and include the expression in the bed under the sheets.
Oh, my God.
And she says how embarrassing it was for her. How embarrassing it was for her when all of a sudden her fortune says, spend some time to search within yourself. I agree with Teresa. She goes, you should make that only an adult game. I would agree with that.
Yeah, but maybe their kids were adults.
But yeah, that's
Ellie and all,
Yeah, that's why I said that. You know what? Grandkids, they don't have to be. We all imagine grandkids as like newborns, 1 or 2 or 3 little bitty kids. But guys, a lot of you guys have grandkids who are already adults.
I'm a grandkid.
Jamie's a grandkid.
We go out to eat with my grandparents.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So don't always assume that all grandkids are kids. Just like don't keep thinking that 1970s were only 30 years ago, right?
They were.
They feel like they were. Here we go. Von der Rohe, congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, we're moving on to the next one, Jamie. You ready?
I'm ready.
Name this dog rescue. Come on, y'all. That's easy.
Oh boy, nope, you're never gonna get it.
I am. Guys, when they hit hard.
That was like 1,000 at a time, Lester. Oh no.
Stop typing, y'all. Stop typing, please. Here we go. Here we go. And we found our first winner of this one. This question here goes to, I'm going to the top of the line right there. I just passed it.
Oh my gosh.
I just passed it. Someone who goes by the initials JL. Oh, that's us. That's JL. That's cute. I cannot see what their little thumbnail is. Can you see the profile picture right there?
I can't tell what it is. It's got a rainbow in it.
It has a rainbow. But whoever goes by the initial JL is the actual winner of that question right over there. So congratulations to JL. And guys, I'm sorry that I did not catch it fast enough. But here's what happens. I think that all of you guys are on a little bit of a delay, because as I actually showed the question, some of you guys are still talking about the 1970s being 30 years ago.
Story of my life, okay?
There's a
day
few,
late and a dollar short.
There's somebody who's trying to guess what we're doing tomorrow, which means they started the live, but they went from the very beginning. So even though we're way over here in the live, they're still watching at the beginning, still commenting from what happened 45 minutes ago. Which is cute. I love this. Guys, we're over halfway there. So congratulations to JL, okay? Here goes my next question. Which restaurant did we visit? Which restaurant did we visit?
Your comments are jacked up again. There it is right there.
Ah, hold on. Oh my God. I'm not that far.
Eugene Morrow Jr.
Here it is. I'm almost at the top. So it's just Panchero right there. Jamie, look who it is. Look who it is. JC for the second question in a row.
No.
He got it wrong.
And that was JL last time anyway.
It is. It was wrong. So the next one underneath that one was Blanca Coetzee gets it right. Yes, we didn't go to Golden Corral, JC, but you're right. Last it was JL. Mm-hmm. So
That's
no.
I was like, who's JC?
Blanca, you got it correct. The restaurant that we went to was called Ponchos. Now listen, looky here. I'm not making fun of anybody, but Michael says machos.
That was Michelle.
Michelle says machos. So there's a lot of funny answers. Someone else said golden. Someone else just says pan.
They're so close, though.
So here we go, Ponchero.
So close.
So listen, a lot of you guys are so close, and you're faster than the actual winner was, but you're not getting the right answer. But the first one look how honest Sarah is. I have no clue. That guy in the middle.
I was like, oh, Chinese. They actually went to eat Chinese, but they took Eugene to eat at Ponchos.
Yeah. Well, see, you got to remember that it's Eugene. Yeah, where did we go all eat together? And that was at Ponchos. But these are some nice, wonderful guesses, okay? All right, let me get caught up on all of the comments. All right, I'm at the bottom.
Now hit hide at the top.
Hide that current. All right,
now,
here we go.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, your stuff is still running. Okay.
All right, friends, here we go. Are y'all ready? Here we go. This is going to be a tough one. Everyone you see in this picture, list them by name from the oldest to the youngest. Here you go. There you have it. Some people are giving up already.
That one's wrong.
This person forgot somebody.
It's not in order.
That's not in the right order. So I'm going to actually slow down my comments so I can check them one at a time. Got it. Friends, Christina Todd. Christina Todd says Pawpaw, Gigi, Kim, Lester, Tina, then Dan. So Christina Todd, you are our first person to answer that one correct. Jamie, do you think that these guys are realized that I've taken my sleeping pills already?
So here's the funny thing is,
are y'all starting to realize that?
He's over at the cabinet right before we go live and he's grabbing his stuff and I'm like, he is not remembering that we have like a 2-hour live to do tonight.
So listen, here's the thing.
So he literally took his pills, probably on purpose.
No.
To leave me hanging.
No, I will not fall asleep on you all. Okay. Oh. But here's what I will do.
Are you sweating?
No. Do I look like I'm sweating?
It's the hat.
Yeah. No, no, what happened last night was I did not get off my live until 10:30. I never took my sleeping concoction. And so sitting there at midnight, I'm still wide awake. And I had to be up very early today. Today was a very busy day, guys, extremely busy. Tomorrow is going to be another busy day. And so I need my sleep. So I did not want to forget again and be up till 12, 1 o'clock and then not get any sleep. So yes, Jamie can take over whenever she feels like she needs to. Let's finish my game though. All right. What's wrong? Why are you making that face? You okay?
Yep.
All right, here we go, guys. I think we have 3 more. Who is this mystery person? Are y'all ready? Who is this mystery person? Go. I don't have my glasses. You got to find it.
Oh, my gosh.
I got it. I'm back. Y'all, found her.
Up.
I got it. We got the answer.
Up.
It was that one right there with the free name, wasn't it?
Right there. Go down a little bit more. You missed it. Your scrolling is broken.
I'm saying it in my head, says Kevin. Miss Molly. It's good golly, Miss Molly. You know Miss Molly?
Mm-mm.
Well, I do. Good golly, Miss Molly. That is Stephanie. That is my niece-in-law, Stephanie. And she was working on the bees. That was last year after the flood. And you can see there's just stuff from the yard all
that was one of the
everywhere.
Funniest videos you have ever made, ever.
And
Ever.
I've made a few funnier videos. But thing is, in this particular video, Stephanie is working with bees. There was a hive of bees had floated off in the flood. And poor Stephanie had gone over trying to recapture or reclaim the bees and move them into one of her bee hives. But while she was doing so, cows escaped from poor fencing. We're trying to run the cows back where they belong, but the cow was scared of Stephanie because she's dressed in a bee suit. And so it's just the funniest video. I have no idea what it's called, but I will say it was from a year ago-ish. And
almost to the day.
I think that might be the thumbnail.
Yeah.
The thumbnail actually has her on it. So if you ever want to go back and find those videos, that was from a year ago. But the answer, Stephanie, Molly, that's a point for you. I can't tell here how many more I have to go, but I think we're getting close to the end.
Hide the comment, babe.
I'm going to hide Miss Molly's name. Congrats, Miss Molly. Remember, we're still looking for somebody to claim this prize, which is just bragging rights. Here we go. Which calf was rescued from floodwaters? That should give y'all a hint. And there's it as happening. Which calf was rescued from floodwaters? Jamie, I'm trying.
I'm moving out of your way.
Which calf? Got it. Okay, Jenny Suffin says Prince Willie Joe. Yes, guys, in this picture over here, I would say the first 30 people said Pearl.
I actually said I saw Gracie in there too.
Yeah, you saw Gracie. I'm trying to think back to Pearl and floodwaters, and I don't recall Pearl being rescued by floodwaters. But what I do remember, and I even have a video of it, is Prince Willie Joe being rescued because a couple of hours later, and that entire pasture was underwater by 4 or 5 foot of water. So Prince Willie Joe would have died that night. And his mom, there's no way the mom could have gotten her calf up to move when they're first born. So that was just an hour or so after he was born, and he was carried to safety. And he is still alive today to talk about that day that his human daddy picked him up and carried him. All righty. So looking good, Jenny Sutphin. All right. I'm going to hide that comment. All right. Are we ready? We're almost done. I know that we're almost there. Next question. Name this vet. Come on, y'all. Name this vet. Do you see it yet?
Nope, not the right answer. I see answers, but it's not the right answer.
I think someone spelled it quite wrong.
Wait, there was the right answer.
So, someone named Cindy. Has she won yet tonight? No. So, Miss Cindy, you are correct. That is, in fact, Dr. Priestley. Was that our last one? You helped me build this. And, guys, that was our last question. I'm going to just see real fast. Could there be one more? I don't think there is. No, that is all. Okay. So, let me hide that. So, Cindy, congratulations. You got that one right. So there was no one person to have gotten more than one right as far as being fastest. So I hope that you guys played along at home, and that was a lot of fun for you. And like I said, there's not a prize. Jamie reminded us it's just for fun, y'all. It's just to have some fun with. But here's what I love. I love when people will tell you what their score was. Look, there are so many people who are letting us know how many they got right out of those 10 questions. So that's always fun too, because you guys all would have passed with flying colors. And I hope it was fun. But hey, if not, guys, it's not. Someone says, I only missed 3. It's all in good fun. Poor Danny. Danny, you only got 2 right? Danny's
got to brush up.
Danny, you're going to have to go on one of those, what do they call them? A splurge? A binge watch, where you start catching up on all the videos. Start with Longhorn Lesters. Just saying. Okay, I'm playing. I'm kidding. All right, at this point, we're going to remove those comments. And now it is Jamie's portion of tonight's program. I'm kidding. This is going to be so much fun. So how did this happen?
Okay. So last night, after I got done with Dear Jamie, something came up on my news feed of a creator that said, if you ask questions in this post, I will respond to each one. And it was a very small creator. Like, they had 1,000 followers and they had 10 questions. And I was like, that actually looks like fun. So on from Suits to Boots, I made a post that said, I'll answer all of the questions in this post, and just go with it. Well, okay. I underestimated the interaction that would happen on this post because it was like 11 o'clock at night as I was laying down, and I replied to the first 496, and then Facebook actually would no longer, I was replying and it would delete my responses. Like
Yeah,
it was like,
they do that.
You maxed out, lady, and we think you're a spammer
Yeah,
at this point
that's
in
what they
time.
assume, that you're spamming the system. You're spamming the comments because you're trying to make your own interaction. So everyone knows that YouTube and Facebook promote channels that have interaction. So we enjoy it when you guys comment. But the mistake was we were not able to comment back on all of them because it knows who's commenting, and they know that, hey, well, wait a minute, this person has already commented 100 times. This is more than likely some kind of spam.
So it locks you out and the system can't process it. And what ended up happening is that people got really mad at me today and would go back on there and say, I guess I didn't matter, knew I didn't matter, or figure that this was Jamie got hacked and all these other things. And I'm like, oh my God, no, that's not, I didn't mean it to be that way. So like I opened up my own can of worms and I disappointed people, but I really tried. I went back in this morning and it would only let me respond to 100 more. And well, yeah.
Trista says, next time, just say you'll answer 10 questions.
So what I did tonight was I went on the Sanctuary page and said, we will answer any question that you ask to the first 100 people that ask questions on a Facebook post. So I'm going to share the whole screen.
Oh.
So what I did was I made a brand new post. And tonight I thought that we would go through 100.
Well, could I ask, and we just do one thing? Let's just say that we don't have to answer every question because there are some things that we may not choose to answer based on someone's personal choice, something that could be hurtful to somebody, something that's someone else's content.
What I was going to tell you is that there's now over 350 questions on here, and I wasn't really going to count. I just thought that we would just go through and rapid fire, not deep dives into these questions.
No deep diving. No deep diving tonight, y'all. We're going to rapid fire it.
Please keep in mind that Lester has had his sleeping.
Hey, do you want to go you, me back, or just both of us answer?
Whatever. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to try this thing where I share our screen, and we're going to share this, and
we're actually looking at
Facebook. Where'd my post go? There we go. Actually, hold on a second. I wonder.
You may have to refresh it.
It took it down. Hold on a second. There we go.
All right. So the only thing is, are we not able to see ourselves right now?
So watch.
Can anyone? Oh, okay.
You get what it's doing?
So here's the thing. So my question is, though, you could actually hide you and me as long as they're still able to see us, or does that make it where it's too small for people to see? So here's my question, friends.
This is what I do here.
I know, but can people see that on their screens?
Well,
because if people are reading off of the computer, that's probably going to be way too small.
Well, I don't have to share anything. I can just read them off of my phone if you want to.
Oh, no. Well, let's just at least do it to where it's like this.
What if you do it over here, where you put us in the picture?
That's going to put us in the picture.
Is that better?
So we're going to go ahead and try this layout, friends. You may not like it, and you might not be able to read, but it's okay.
You don't have to read. I'm going to read them to you.
Jamie's going to read them to you. All right, and then we're going to answer them.
All right. Was anything done about the neighbor's horse that got into your pasture? So I'll take that one.
Go ahead.
What was done was we brought the horse back and we reinforced some of the areas, and
we double chained that gate.
Yes. And so far, all is well.
Okay.
Next question. Do you plan to eventually sell JL South and put a home on JL North?
That's a very difficult question. Obviously, one that we've both talked about many times. But there's advantages to having both properties. It's just too hard to maintain two properties.
People do not like that we're even sharing this. So I'm going to stop sharing because they say they can't see. They would rather see our faces.
So we still have it on the phone. We can absolutely read them, because if you guys don't want to read them anyway, or they're too small, why have it posted up there? But to answer that question, and I'll let Jamie have her shot at answering it as well. Personally, I would much rather have one home property. And even though Longhorn Lester's, the JL South, is beautiful in so many ways, it's not conducive for the number and the types of animals that we have. Now, it would be fine for some, and you know that some are really living a wonderful life out here, but there's others that would not be able to make it over here. So what we have to do is really start thinking about the animals that we have and which property, you know, is more accommodating. And so the JL South, by a long shot, has to win if you make the argument be about the fact of which property can house and maintain all of the animals that we have. Now, you're going to hear a different perspective, and that's the beauty of this. But yes, I would say, yes, I would love to do that, but I need at least 5 years to pay off the bills that I have indebted. I've indebted myself 5 years. So y'all better not leave me for at least 5 years. Give me 5 years, y'all. Give me 5 good years.
My answer to that is there's so much that has to happen before that could happen. And we're really blessed to be able to have the opportunities that we have today for being able to shuffle animals and to grow gardens and to have high places and a home and all of those things.
Amanda goes, the short answer, Lester.
That's the shortest Lester answer you're going to get. Sorry. All right. Next question. Now, this is a tough one, and I would like to take the first stab at it.
Okay.
Okay. How did Cornholio die? So I answered this last night in my post as well. Cornholio was found passed away. He was not sick. He was not injured. He had no wounds. So we believe that Cornholio passed away of old age. The average age of a turkey is 5 years, and we believe that Cornholio was actually much older than that. His beard measured longer than 5 years.
We had him longer than the average life expectancy.
That's what I was going to say. And we didn't get him as a baby.
Yeah, he was already an adult.
Yes.
So there's a lot of animals, actually. You're not going to want to hear this, but there's a lot of animals that are living on borrowed time right now.
Yes.
I'll just name a few.
That's the truth.
There are a lot of animals that I know that you love, and you're going to hate the day that they pass. That would be a good trivia question. But there are a number of animals that are living on borrowed time. And what I mean by that is that they have exceeded their average life expectancy. And Corny was absolutely one of those. There's animals right here. Nate, that little rooster Nate.
That was our first chicken ever.
Let's jump to animals over here. How about Ringo?
Ivy.
If we go to Jake's place, Moo.
I'm a Gene.
Probably
Donkey Dan.
Donkey Dan, boy, he's getting up there. So these are all animals who they can age them by their teeth, muscle development or lack of, mostly. There's a lot of ways vets can give you numbers. And we had Ivy, and she was at that point in her 30s. So let's just say that she's 35, 36 years old now.
39, actually, according to the most recent dentist.
So 39 years old, guys. And I think if you look it up, I don't know I'm going to say the average is probably 30, maybe. Yeah. But I tell you what, we do have several that are living on borrowed time. So Cornholio, yes. Someone goes Bucky's. I don't think Bucky's is near his end. Do you? Bucky's has issues.
He's a senior.
He's a senior. He's blind in one eye, but his problem is he's going blind in the other. Have you talked about that yet?
I did. I talked about it the other day. The other night I started to talk about it. So I do believe that Bucky's is getting close. And that's a sad thing because we don't know Bucky's history before he came to us, but I have noticed him slowing down significantly. And a lot of it has to do with the loss of his vision as a whole and his age.
All right, here we go. Next question.
What is the one animal you wouldn't think twice about bringing to your sanctuary farm that you do not have?
So what is an animal that we do not want?
Right.
In other words?
Yeah.
So what animal would we never want? What animal would we never want? I mean, It's easy to say which ones I would like to have an experience with. I would love to experience camel, which are legal. You don't have to have an exotic license for a camel. I would like to experience the kangaroo or one of the descendants of a kangaroo. What do you call those little things? They have a name.
I
don't
know.
think it's kangaroo. I think it's like a distant cousin. So
I can tell you some things that we won't be bringing in. Guineas?
Guineas, no. No
Snakes,
guineas.
or any other reptilian thing?
No reptiles.
And as much as they are beautiful, we won't bring in a zebra, or giraffe, or anything exotic like that. No monkeys, none of those things. And
you probably would have said that about ostriches one time too, and now look at you.
I'm confident that I said that. I was also going to take it to the next level and say no bison and no Highlander cows. And my reason for bison and Highlander cows is because of our heat. This is the most non-conducive thing for those kinds of animals.
Yeah. Hey, sweetie.
All right. What? This is actually funny. Why are you resistant to fitting a gate at the top of the driveway at the JL North instead of parking the truck across there?
It's the size dimensions won't match any gate. So listen, I'm going to tell you something. Do I have a pen to draw it?
Oh my God, no, I don't think you do.
Darn it. Hey, sweetie.
So the space is too big for a standard gate. And
could you just hold your hands like this? So if you have a gate, you want your gate to close where it's squared, right? But the problem is the distance between these two is they don't make a gate that size. They don't make gates that size. We are not in a financial position to order a specialized gate. And if you're going to say, well, Lester, close it like halfway and let it at a weird, funky angle, I'll never do that. That would eat me alive.
That we are not opposed to it, for the record. We're not opposed to it.
We want a gate there.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, I've already said we're not in a financial place to have customized gates. I don't think that some people have a reality of what things cost. And yeah, we're making it 1 month at a time here, okay, y'all? 1 month at a time.
All right.
What else you got?
What's the story with the hand at the end of some of the videos?
People don't like my hands.
That just gave me goosebumps.
That's me.
I'm not making it up. I have chills again. Look at
that's me being sassy.
Why?
I think that's me being sassy. What's wrong with you? That's not sexy. That's not sexy. Look, it's not new. I've done it now for the entire month of April. Every single video, and I make 2 a day on the Monday through Friday. But as they're going off, they're like, well, we'll see you guys in the next video. And all of a sudden, and it goes into dancing. And I love that. People don't like that.
Somebody just says, this is better than the last time Lester took his sleeping pills and took us on a ride. Oh my gosh. You did this before?
I don't know. What kind of a ride?
I guess you went out in the side-by-side and did your night rounds.
I think I did do that.
All right. Next question. Wait, the hand
It's my transition. It's
an editing transition.
It's how I edit the ends of my videos.
Yes.
Just like when my video comes on, it's a ball of paper. Someone's throwing a ball of paper.
That's an editing tool.
It's just an editing fun thing that I do.
Okay. How is Chuck behaving since his surgery? Are you afraid of him? Yep, I am. Is he behaving? Fully behaving. But am I still healthily afraid of him? Yes. But you aren't.
No. Jamie, please. I think that I'm afraid of all of our bulls.
I'm afraid of all of the Longhorns.
If I've ever made you feel like I'm not afraid of Tex or Waylon or Chuck or any of our bulls, then I've misled you. It's very dangerous, and you have great fear getting out there with those animals. And a lot of folks would say that that's foolish what we do, taking those four-wheeler rides, and those horns are slicing and dicing left and right. But I'm going to tell you something else about me, and Jamie knows this, is that I like adventures. I like weird and dangerous adventures. I don't care to skydive, yet I'll go out there and deal with Carl, which probably more people die from ostrich attacks than they do from skydiving. I don't know. I'm just saying numbers. But those kind of things give me a thrill. So working with the bulls, I'll do it, but I try to make sure that I remind those who watch the videos of how important it is to keep your head on a swivel. Do not trust them for a minute, because they're very dangerous. And a lot of our cows are dangerous. Probably not to necessarily to want to be dangerous, but there's just, the horses are dangerous. Listen to me. I do believe that the next injury that I will take from a horse is going to be from Roman. You want to tell him why?
Because of his ninja ways, or because of him trying to like show that he's head?
So I'm going to demonstrate. Jamie is Jamie or Lester, and I'm Roman. Act like you're walking to the barn.
Yeah.
And if for some reason he is right here.
Yes.
He's right here.
Not in a mean way.
Not in a mean way.
Very much like, I'm here to be your horse. What can I do for you way?
I love him, but he gives you no personal space. And how do you teach that?
So the other part is, though, that while Roman is trying to be your person, you're like right there in your pocket, he is still spooked very easily. So if you move wrong because you got spooked, he spooks very much. So we gotta figure out the balance in that. I recently have been working with him more and more on get the halter on, and one thing that I have watched about the 3 foot in a normal horse, I'm gonna give Roman the 6 foot. The 6 foot space. I've seen people do a lot lately with I've been watching a lot of training about that personal space. So my hopes and dreams are that once we get the stalls done and we have a way to separate and segregate without opening gates and putting, everybody in a pasture or a space right next to the neighbor's horses, that once we get the stalls and I can work with individuals, that I can really work on that and create the space that the other 3 horses give us. Rita's even giving you more space than Roman is right now.
And then, so I think that we agree that Roman is going to more than likely be the next big accident, but it's going to be against one of us, and it's going to be accidental. Yeah. We love him. Boy,
it is not aggressive. It is not anything like that.
He just gets way too close, yet he's way too skittish for sudden movements and different things. And someone coming behind him, he's going to find the easiest route, and it's going to be right over the top of one of us.
Yeah, so we're working on desensitizing him to be able to get rid of that spook as well. Okay, Lester.
Oh boy.
If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you travel to?
I've been seeing these commercials like a whole lot lately of like Switzerland, like in the Alps, like the mountain range. And so if I was going to travel for the beauty of something that's going to take my breath away, and it's like, maybe I would imagine it being like a piece of heaven on earth. I do think it would probably be to travel to, not just live, right?
Yeah, just to travel to.
Just to probably see Switzerland, maybe. I think it's Switzerland.
Interesting.
If I pull up I don't want to do that now.
Okay.
Yes, maybe Norway. I don't know which country, but one of those countries shows up on my reels. Maybe it's Scotland. It's just water and rocks and waterfalls and green mountains, and it just, I think it might be Switzerland. But go ahead.
I love that. How do we find time to do all that we do?
Well, there's no time. We never have time. Look,
I give up
we're
sleep.
exhausted.
I would say, like, I don't sleep. And the longest I sit down is to be able to do these lives with you all. And that's the most honest truth that I can give you. It takes us 4 nights to watch an episode of Survivor.
Yep.
And you sleep very little and do 50 things at once all of the time.
But listen, it's like every one of you moms know who stayed up so long with your baby, you know it's not going to last forever.
Yep.
Childhood, motherhood, that stage of life is not going to last forever. And Jamie and I feel the same way. We know that social media, at least what we do, it's going to go away. We're watching it go away. And I'm not trying to say it's your fault or it's our fault. It's just the direction of social media. This is not where social media giants or gurus are making it. This is like if they start cutting loose ends, they're going to start cutting stuff like this. They'll keep the shorts and the little TikTok-y kinds of stuff. They'll keep music videos or whatever gets, all the attention. But there's not a creator out there on Facebook or YouTube who doesn't tell you or has not told you how social media over the last 3 years, as far as what we do, is on a very steady decline.
Well, you have to look at it in the same way of music styles, certain bands and artists.
Yeah.
They have their moment, and then people move on to like the newest, latest, and greatest. And we're not naive enough to think that there's not going to be somebody newer, funnier,
more
younger,
handsomer,
with better animals, or that does more. And that's normal, and it's cyclical, and it's totally, it happens. So we know that this season of our life will not always be the same. And we try to embrace every single second of it. And that goes to even the fact that today's the youngest our animals are going to be, because tomorrow they're older, and we want to embrace all of the time with them. And the same thing with our kids too. Yep. So you squeeze it all in, and you sleep when you're dead, basically.
Yeah. We love what we do, and we wouldn't change it for anything. But I think the hardest thing that you all don't realize is that, now, of course, I didn't meet Jamie till I met you all, but this family has been doing this long before there was ever internet, long before we ever met and haven't had an audience. And so our family will continue to do what we've been doing for hundreds of years. And
farming, not making videos.
Yeah, farming, not making videos. If in fact, and when we do in fact lose social media, it will not be us who leaves you. Just like with Facebook, we didn't leave them, they left us. And I'm not saying you, it's the platform, the Facebook company, Meta, or YouTube company. They're leaving the large creators. Anyway, what's the next question?
This is for both of y'all. Do you ever get sick of all the haters on your pages? Do you get your feelings hurt?
I only don't like the betrayal part. I don't like for someone to say one thing to my face and then go to a different channel and say something very, very, very different. So they do that on 2 channels. They'll say wonderful, sweet, amazing things to me on my channels, but go to either Nephew Jake or Rick, the Think Like a Horse guy. Those are the 2 channels that people are completely, they talk with a forked tongue, or they have two-faced, however you want to say it. They say one thing over here, and then they go say something completely different over there. And it's usually bashing. I can't stand that. If you know that someone doesn't like you, then guess what? They don't like you. They just don't like you. They don't like you here. They don't like you over there. But to pretend that they're friendly with you, that you are something significant in their life, and then you go over there and say there's one lady who actually said that she only watches the channel to find things to be upset about.
That's horrible.
I mean, I'm like, thank you for your comment. I actually put that. I pinned her comment, and I'm like, well, thank you for the comment. I says, and because what you're doing by commenting is supporting us, so we appreciate you. I bet you she hated that. So
I just yes, I get my feelings hurt, but probably not as easily and often as Lester, because if you want to know the truth, I have no time to be curious about what people are thinking or saying. And that, I try really hard to find time a few times a week to engage and really get connected with our friends and family on social media. But if I'm being very real, Lester will be like, did you see this in the news today? Or did you see this video? Or did you have time to watch my video? No, I really haven't. Because I do still work a full-time job that's actually more than a 9 to 5, and am trying to be all things to everyone, essentially. So,
yeah.
But when my feelings do get hurt, they're hurt, and it bothers me, and I'll say things to him, and he has to flip off the normal reaction and be like, don't let that one be the one, in the pile of 1,000, you can't let that one. And
we remind each other not to go off on anybody, let them have an opinion, and remembering that not everybody is socially, they probably do not do well in social settings.
Yeah.
And that's why they most likely resort to spending all their time here with the commenting, especially the negative comments, because it makes them feel better about themselves, to feel like someone else is lesser, I think.
Yes.
But yeah, mean comments are mean, and they're as hurtful to us as they would be for you finding out someone saying something about you. It feels the exact same. And even though we may have never met, we maybe have not done things together as friends, we kind of do. And I don't think that's what you guys understand, is that the comments only hurt because over time, when you spend time with someone every single day and so many hours of the day, and if you're not actually right here with them, you're building something for them. Now, don't get me wrong. It's what I choose as my profession, so I do it. But I also learn to love the people who's going to share my art, if you will. Or you don't want to call them fans, but you want to call them family. And you begin to see each other as family. And then when all of a sudden someone in your family betrays you or backstabs you, it hurts worse. Are we on that same question still?
All right, next up. When will we get to see a video of y'all riding horses together at the same time? Even if it's just in the yard. I'm looking forward to that day. All right, so sad story is that Val is still not in good condition right now. We are concerned about her back leg, so Lester's not riding her. And we have chiropractor and the vet coming out to look at her next week. And Talus is rideable and Rita is parkable. But I am not confident enough to ride by myself just yet. I don't feel that I'm connected in that way. And one thing I have learned about getting on the back of the horse is I need to clear my mind, because all of my stress is bottled up and then it comes out in this fear, because it's like I wasn't prepared for this moment. So I have much to do before we are side by side saddled.
Yeah. So Val and Talus. So Val, Talus, Rita, and then over here, Prim.
And Storm.
But Storm does not ride very well. And Stormy has a horrible fear of the big birds.
Horrible.
And I told Jamie so many times that Stormy, it's sad for her, because Stormy can just kind of even peek over. And if she sees Tina, why? Or whatever, Stormy is terrified. And she's gotten scared with people on her back. And she's reared up and she jerks.
She's not doing it to be mean. She's not genuinely scared. And she's not rearing up to throw you off. She's spooked. She is trying to find her confidence. So she also needs sensitivity and confidence training to be able to take her to the next step as well.
Yeah. But no, we have horses that can be ridden, and then I ride them as often as possible. I mean, I haven't in a week or two. But we have a few issues now with Val that we're going to have looked at, because we don't want to get her injured. She has arthritis issues.
When will Lester get his bunnies?
There's no time right now.
That's the truth. And summer's coming.
Yeah, we haven't even thought about it. We kind of run out of time. Now it's summertime. It's not a good time to have rabbits. And do you know that in every month that has the letter R, you should not. No, you can. That is every month with the letter R, it's safe to eat rabbit. Any other time of the year, you're at risk of getting yourself sick from the parasites that rabbits have inside of them. So August, you cannot. September, you can. September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April.
I don't know if that applies to this part of the country. Is this pretty hot?
Well, I don't
Either
know.
way, that wasn't our intention of why we were getting rabbits. Anyway, do Xander and Kendra know the sex of the baby? Not yet. They get some genetic testing done on Wednesday, and that takes 2 to 6 weeks to get back. She will have a follow-up visit the end of May as well. But we will not keep it a secret. Once the family knows and their community knows, then I have been told I'm allowed to share.
All right, I'm going to have to put you on pause for a minute because I may owe somebody an apology. Janice or Janice?
Janice
says, I made a comment recently and Lester took offense. I just wish I knew what the comment was, ma'am, because I just don't remember. And I guess I was very hateful. Now, I promise you, if something I said came out as hateful.
Well, she said that she never meant to be hateful.
No, Lester took offense and was very hateful.
Oh, I was reading the second line.
So I don't know what I would have told you, but I promise if I would only take offense to things that I felt were downright rude or disrespectful in the comment, if it's geared towards my family members or someone's personal appearance, yeah, that can be hurtful. So I don't know exactly what your comment was, but I don't know how it matters that you had a migraine, because if someone's hateful to you, then they're hateful to you. Anyway, if you would never be hateful, then I'm equally sorry, but I just wish I knew what was said. All right, we'll move on.
All right. Besides Jamie, who do you feel closest to in your family?
Hold on. Tammy, I called you an ass? No, I did not. That was some kind of AI bot. That was not me. Have I ever called anyone an ass?
I have no idea. I don't know. Did you take his sleeping pills?
I think that I may have interpreted it wrong, or maybe you did. Sorry, Tammy, but I once again, I'm very sorry. Someone's saying, yes, you did. Tammy, I'm sorry.
Eugene Morrow.
I don't know.
Jr.
Tammy, why did I do it? I see your comments over here. Tell me why I did it. Tammy, why did I do it? What did you say to me first? Sweet lady, tell me. Try to find Tammy. I got to find Tammy. Tammy says people remember. What did you say, though? Why would I have called you an ass? Why would I have called her an ass, Jamie? I don't know. Someone please tell me why I call her an ass. I have failed you. Janice was talking about seeing the back of the shirt Keisha sent. That was not Janice, was it? Because Janice and I have already talked, and she and I are fine. If her name was Janice. You want to keep doing more questions?
I do. Can you get off of this? Okay. Did you hear the question? Besides Jamie, who do you feel closest to in the family?
Well, my son, L.E., as far as he's my firstborn son, and he and I talk several times a week. Why? Is there
nothing?
Who would you?
In your family, who I feel closest to?
Yeah, it's going to be hard because you're going to hurt someone's feeling.
It's Steph and Bree.
That's why I said it's going to be hard. You're going to hurt someone's feeling because you got to choose just one.
I didn't have to choose just one.
Oh.
Definitely Steph and Bree, and that's just built up over time. All right. Who is your favorite animal, past or present, and why? That one's hard.
Your favorite animal, past or present?
Mm-hmm.
Mine has to be Maggie.
Mm.
That's pretty easy for me, actually. Don't get me wrong. I love Huck. You love all of these babies who've been, such a big part of your life. And then we've had some who have moved along, like Wanda, my ostrich. Guys, I miss her so much.
Yes. For me, I can't give you a favorite, but it has to be Sookie, Dixie, and Voodoo, like in their own special ways, their very own ways. How difficult is it to take care of and brush out Gemma and Talus's mane? What do you have to do to take care of their feathers on their feet? It's not difficult. Talus actually has wonderful hair that basically solves itself. Gemma has wild and crazy hair, but I have found products that I can do about once a week, and it keeps it good until I can get back to it a week later. So it doesn't require daily brushing because of the leave-in conditioner and because of the deep conditioner I use on her. And to take care of their feathers on their feet, I have to scrub them with some medicated shampoo about once a week. And then overall, if it's a muddy pasture time, I have to get out there and get the mud off of them and make sure that where their hoof meets their hair, that nothing gets stuck right there and no moisture. So I don't find it challenging or terrible. I actually enjoy all of the grooming. Okay, are you ready?
Yes. That sweet lady right there who just said, I'm going to forget all this by tomorrow. Guess what? I remember that she got one of our questions right on my trivia game.
All right. What will become of Willie Joe?
Willie Joe, there's only a couple of cows that he might be able to, if he's here long enough, be able to breed with, but only one time. So that would not make sense to keep an intact bull if, in fact, we already have our herd bulls. Now, if Willie Joe, if we thought that we were going to be able to find a way to, because don't forget, Willie Joe belongs to Tex, to Waylon. So if we were to find a way to keep Tex and Willie Joe, we might could still find a way to work that out. But that means that Waylon has to go. So what it's going to come down to is you guys, would you rather, I'm just curious, would you rather say goodbye to Waylon or say goodbye to Prince Willie Joe? That's the serious question. I'm curious what you're going to say. If we had to lose one, and we do have to lose one, would you rather us say goodbye to Waylon or say goodbye to Prince Willie Joe? All right, go to your next question.
Can we cut Gemma's bangs? No. So I know everybody wants her to be able to see, but they are bred to be able to see through that. And Gemma has a white blaze on her face. Her whole head is almost white, and sunburn is very real. In addition to the fact that cancer happens around horses with white faces and eyes. Voodoo was at high risk for cancer, probably had it. And every summer he would get so sunburned that all of his face would blister and peel, and we would be putting on zinc sunscreen on him twice a day and fly mask and all kinds of things to be able to preserve him. So as long as Gemma is not getting her bangs cut, caught in anything, chewing on them, have any harm to her, they protect her face, so they will stay the way that they are. Even the rest of my horses do not have bangs that are shorter than their foreheads. Their bangs go over their eyes, and that is by design. That is very natural for horses to have that because it keeps things out of their eyes as well. What happened to the flags that people sent for the barn years ago? Those, sadly, were lost in the flood.
Yeah. They were in a tote.
Yes.
That the cheaper clear plastic totes that don't always seal up right, and they filled with water before they floated. That which kind of surprised me. But
what's your least favorite farm chore and your most favorite farm chore?
Well, my favorite farm chore is, I think, Well, I mean, it has to be feeding. I'd rather do feeding than watering. If that's, but as far as mowing, I mean, mowing is fun with the tractor if I have the right tractor. I don't just say I love to mow. I like to mow in my tractor with my radio on.
My favorite farm chore is grooming the horses. Anything with the horses. I could be out there just watering and doing that. My least favorite farm chore is repairing damages. For instance, fences that get torn down or jumped over by animals.
I hate to weed eat.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas you meant to fix a fence or work on a fence just once in a blue moon, weed eating is once a week. And oh my gosh, I do not like to weed eat. It hurts.
I get it.
How much longer is this going to go on for?
I figured we go on for just a few more minutes.
All right, a few more minutes,
really
guys.
You're struggling here?
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
I really don't want to go finish Survivor, too.
Oh, and you have to put chickens up. If money and space wasn't an issue, would you like to recreate the vibe of Plum Grove at the jail north and condense your properties and animals into one and have each other and all of your Morrow family together again every day?
Okay, so some of that is yes, and some of that is no. This is a yes and no. The JL Ranch is the most peaceful place that I've ever experienced. There's not a more peaceful place.
Wait, the JL North?
Yeah, the JL Ranch North. Huh. There's not a more peaceful place.
See, I think the JL South is actually more peaceful.
No. When I'm in my element, and I think that people might know this, they may be able to see this and sense it, but when I'm in my element over there, I'm at my best. And it shows in so many different ways. It does. And I think that, yeah.
All right. But the question is, would you want to be able to put everything together and
well, that's why I said
your
yes
whole
and
family?
no. So I would love to be able to have everything together and be in that peaceful place. Yes, I said that a few times tonight. But I also would not want it to be where Dan and Lou and Jake and Bree and Kim and Levi and Mom and Dad. No, I would not want to turn the JL Ranch into a compound. No.
I also don't want to turn it into a compound of any sorts. I really loved space. I'll say that. Space and the ability to walk outside wearing whatever I want to be wearing and not have to worry about an Amazon driver or family or who else is making a video or anything else, like and having that type of freedom.
Yeah, well, we're blessed in the fact that we live close enough to where I go to Morrow Hill at least once a week. Most weeks I go twice a week, and sometimes 3 times a week, depending on if there's projects that I need to be working with. But so I visit everybody at least once every week, and I'm going to be honest, I'm good with that. I don't need to be involved in everything all the time, Yes. And so, no, I would not want to recreate Morrow Hill at the JL Ranch. I feel bad for those who continue to deal with the flooding. I feel because there was a similar question that I don't think we've gotten to yet that asked if we would ever consider possibilities of moving back to I'm a Survivor and going back to the old days. And I will say no. The stray dogs, the gunshots, people come by every night. Listen to this. There's a dumpster that we pay for at the sanctuary. The sanctuary in Plum Grove. The sanctuary actually pays for it. Thank you so very much for little things like that. But what's happened to our dumpster is the fact that the entire neighborhood is driving by and tossing out their trash. And if you say put up cameras, there's cameras. But guys, they're not enforcing those kinds of laws. They have other things that they're working on.
No, so we had to cancel the dumpster.
So the dumpster was a waste, but the stray dogs are horrible. The gunshots, the fire, the police, the ambulance, nonstop, day in, day out, the fireworks, and the crime, the overcrowding of the streets. There is no way that I would ever want to be a part of that again. No way.
All right, Lester's having a hard time keeping his eyes open. So final question
Oh,
of the
final
night.
question.
All right. Oh no, I just lost it. Here it is. How can you keep all the animals' names straight?
That's easy. So, I mean, if you have to say them in a hurry, it's harder. But if you have time to think for a second or so, it's pretty easy. But they're like your kids and your grandkids. You just see them, except whereas you may see your grandkids once a week, once a month, or once a year, and you have a hard time remembering who's who. When you see them all day, every day, then you just know who they are.
They're people to us.
I think the saddest thing and the biggest injustice is that we haven't highlighted and showcased every animal where you know them all by name.
Yeah.
Because that kind of falls on our shoulders. You know, we have these amazing characters who do so much to bring so much life and different facets of life to our shows, right? Yet there are some that people don't even know their names to. That would be like somebody in a movie who's an extra, who walks by in the background or something, you know? And I hate that we have some animals that are extras. We should work on that.
We should.
Because they all have the most beautiful personalities.
They do.
So,
y'all, thanks so much for joining us tonight on this random all together live. If we can get ourselves going early enough in the morning, we will get up and do a very quick coffee clink and say good morning to y'all. But we do have a very busy day tomorrow. And if we don't catch you for coffee, you can catch me on Suits to Boots tomorrow night for Scandalous Saturdays for the podcast.
All right.
Anything else?
Nope. Let's go ahead and get on off of here. We love you guys. We're very blessed to have you. And you guys are really wonderful to us. And I say that when I'm sober and when I'm drunk.
Except for he's not drunk. You just took a sleeping pill. Oh my God. Good night, y'all. We love you so much.
Survivor. I'm a survivor. Who will be the ultimate survivor? Let's find out when you spend a day in our shoes. All you creators, our sanctuary is waiting. Who will win the title? Well, it could be you. Survivor. I'm a survivor.